Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're diving into 3 bone-chilling tales that are rooted in terrifying reality. So, turn down the lights, lock your doors, and get ready, because these aren't just stories, they're warnings. Our first story takes us back to Halloween night, 1974, in Pasadena, Texas. It's a night that forever changed the way parents looked at trick-or-treating. 8-year-old Timothy O'Brien came home, excited, his candy bag filled to the brim. He was a happy kid, smiling from ear to ear. But just minutes later, that joy turned to unimaginable horror. Timothy was dead. The cause? A Pixie Stix, one of his favorite candies, had been laced with a fatal dose of cyanide. Panic gripped the entire neighborhood. Rumors spread like wildfire that a monster was lurking in the shadows, poisoning Halloween candy and targeting innocent children. Parents, terrified, threw away mountains of treats, their homes filled with fear instead of laughter. But the real monster wasn't a stranger. The police investigation uncovered a truth far more disturbing than anyone could have imagined. The poison had been administered by Timothy's own father, Ronald Clark O'Brien. Ronald, who would forever be known by the grim nickname the Candyman, had taken out massive life insurance policies on his children. He had planned to poison them all to collect the money, using the Halloween panic as a cover for his despicable crime. He had even tried to give poisoned candy to other children to make his son's death look random. But his plan unraveled. Ronald O'Brien was convicted of murder and executed in 1984. The case was closed, but the story didn't end there. Even now, decades later, the legend of the Candyman haunts that Texas neighborhood. Some residents swear that every Halloween night, as darkness falls, they see a strange figure. A man, sometimes described as wearing a clown mask, silently approaches homes and places a single piece of candy on the doorstep. When they look again, he's vanished into the night. All that remains is the candy, a chilling reminder of the night a father became a monster. Is it just a local legend, born from trauma? Or is something more sinister still walking the streets of Pasadena? Now, let's travel from the suburbs of Texas to the bustling heart of New York City and into the dark, echoing passage of the Lincoln Tunnel. This story is a classic piece of New York folklore, a tale whispered among taxi drivers for generations, especially on cold, rainy Halloween nights. It begins, as it always does, around midnight. A taxi driver, finishing up a long shift, spots a lone figure near the tunnel entrance. It's a young woman, pale and shivering, her clothes seemingly soaked. She's crying, and she flags down the cab, desperate for a ride home. She gets in the back, her voice barely a whisper, and gives the driver an address in New Jersey. It's always the same address. The driver, feeling sorry for her, starts the meter and heads through the tunnel. The ride is quiet, the only sound being the rhythmic thump of the windshield wipers and the hum of the tires on wet pavement. When they finally pull up to the house in New Jersey, the driver turns around to tell her they've arrived. But the back seat is empty. There's no sign of the girl, except for a cold, damp spot on the seat where she had been sitting. Confused and a little spooked, the driver decides to knock on the door of the house. Maybe the girl ran inside without paying. An elderly woman answers the door, her face etched with a deep, familiar sadness. Before the driver can even finish explaining, she interrupts him with a sigh. "I know," she says softly. "You're not the first. My daughter. She drowned in that tunnel over 40 years ago on a night just like this. Every year, someone tries to bring her home." The story of the crying girl of the Lincoln Tunnel serves as a ghostly reminder that some souls are forever trying to complete their final journey. For our final story, we're heading across the globe to Quezon City in the Philippines. Back in 1999, it's a story that blurs the lines between technology and the supernatural, a case that still sends shivers down the spines of anyone who works the late-night radio shift. A local DJ was hosting his annual Halloween call-in show, a popular segment where listeners would share their own ghost stories. The night was filled with the usual pranks and spooky tales. But then, at exactly 2:37 a.m., a call came in that was different. The voice on the other end was a woman, whispering, her words faint and filled with an eerie desperation. "It's cold here. Can you help me?" The DJ, assuming it was another prankster trying to sound spooky, played along. He joked with her, asking where she was calling from. After a moment of static-filled silence, her whispered reply chilled him to the bone. From the bottom of the well, the entire studio crew felt a sudden drop in temperature. This was no ordinary prank. They tried to keep her on the line while the station's technicians worked frantically to trace the call. The result was impossible. The call was coming from a payphone located right beside an old, abandoned cemetery. But here's the thing. Official records showed that specific payphone had been disconnected and out of service for over 10 years. There was no physical way a call could have been made from it. After the show, they tried to review the recording of the call. Most of the woman's audio was distorted, lost to static and strange interference. But her final words came through with terrifying clarity, as if she was speaking directly into the microphone. "You can hear me now, right?" A year later, the radio station mysteriously burned down in the middle of the night. The cause was never determined. All that survived was the legend of the woman at the bottom of the well and the distorted tape that proves some voices never truly fall silent. From a father's ultimate betrayal to a ghost's eternal journey home, and a voice from beyond the grave, these stories remind us that the most terrifying things are often those that walk the line between our world and the next. The truth can be far more frightening than fiction. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the dark. If you enjoyed these stories and want to hear more, make sure to hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into the unexplained. Stay safe out there and have a very spooky Halloween.